Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the World Elite Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Aber. With me, as always, is my co-host and tag team partner, Jordan Johnson. Jordan, what is good, man? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Bunch of wrestling this weekend, so let's talk about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was a ton of wrestling this weekend, and I mean, there was returns on Friday. There was a lot of pay-per-views, PLEs, and everything that was fantastic. Got our first comment in. Justin, what is going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, man, it was a really, really good weekend for wrestling, and we're gonna start off right away with Friday Night SmackDown. I'm not gonna run down the whole show. I didn't really watch much of the whole show, but as you can see towards the end of SmackDown, a really big moment happened as far as me and the rest of the fans of the Wyatt Sicks, being that they just came back on SmackDown after being gone for a lengthy period of time, which they were gone because I know Bo Dallas was out with injury. They kept the rest of them off of TV, I guess, because of the injury and whatnot. But yeah, they came back during the tag team match of the Street Profits and Fraxium. So it was really cool to see them come back. Before I get my take, Jordan, what was your thought process on the Wyatt Sicks finally making their comeback to the WWE and to the SmackDown brand? What do you think they can bring to the SmackDown brand?
Yeah, I was watching it, and just there was all fighting, and then the lights went out.
Yep.
It's like, okay, and then the Wyatt Sicks was in the ring. I was like, this is awesome on Bray's birthday.
Yes, yeah. I was going to add that. Yes, it was on Bray Wyatt's birthday. I think that they picked the best day to come back. For one, I think the Wyatt Sicks were ready to come back for quite some time. I think Bo was cleared for a while, but maybe it was his preference to come back on Bray's birthday. Bray would have been 38 years old on Friday, and yeah, I think they picked a really cool day to come back. They even slid the birthday cake in, and I think added a really cool touch to it. They didn't have to do that, but I think they added a cool touch by doing something like that for Bray Wyatt. So you can continue on.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe put some gold on them, put some titles on them. I can see that maybe.
Yeah, I think they're adding something cool to the tag team division, because you can do anything as far as tag team goes. There's 4 male superstars in that group. You can almost sort of freebird rule this type thing with, it could be Gacy and Rowan, Gacy and Loomis, and so on and so forth with the rest of this. But I think Bo is the one that you don't really go tag team with. I think he's the leader. I think you got to go a little above and beyond with Bo, like almost like mid-card champion, or even build him up a little bit more to be like world champion one day. But I mean, they just debuted a while back. It seemed like they didn't really do much with them on television. Then they're gone for a while. So I wouldn't say already, since he's the leader, Bo Dallas is world championship material by any means. I think you could start him off, a little lower and then kind of work yourself up. It seemed like they did that with a lot of people. So just because he's the leader, I don't think that you put him in that position yet. But I thought it was awesome. And yeah, Justin saying freebird them if they win tag title between Gacy Loomis and Rowan. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think you do almost like how New Day did when they were tag champions. You know, they did the Freebird rules the entire time. You know, it was either Biggie and Xavier, Biggie and Kofi, and you know, all the combos you can make with that group. I think you do the same thing with the Wyatt Six, and you work with the 3 members behind Uncle Howdy right there in that picture. As far as Nikki Cross goes, I mean, I think you could add her with something with that women's division. The women's division over there is already shaping up to be something pretty good over there, but adding someone like Nikki, I mean, who has experience, who was in that sort of, you know, insane character like she is now in the Wyatt Six when she was with Sanity, then when she was by herself, and then she had this brief run as the superhero character, and then went back to, you know, the same old Nikki Cross, and now, you know, with the Wyatt Six. I think so many cool things can happen with this group. I know a lot of people unfortunately have lost interest in this group. I'm not one of them. You know, I'm a firm believer that if you book them correctly, that this team can go on to be something very special in WWE. So I'm hoping they get booked very properly, and they don't make people lose the interest that I feel like maybe they're already losing, unfortunately. You know, that's something that for one on social media that, you know, that you see a lot of is that, oh, you know, did people actually even care about the Wyatt Six? Oh, I don't care that they're back, or something like that. And I'm not one of those. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are big fans of the Wyatt Six, you know, who were like a transitional fan from Bray Wyatt, and now you're going to the Wyatt Six because that's sort of similar in the character. As far as Uncle Howdy, you know, Uncle Howdy carrying that legacy. And I mean, for one, you're going to see the negative comments. You know, you're going to see the people saying, oh, he's just trying to rip off his brother's legacy, you know, who he was and whatnot. And I think that's an absolutely ridiculous statement to say that. But yeah, I mean, to finish off with that, I think they can bring something really cool to the tag team division, you know, an already stacked tag team division, you know, Fraxium, DIY, Street Profits, you know, adding in the Wyatt Six. And I think they still have Angel and Berto over there. You know, we did our future championships video, and you know, I think that's something cool they can add over there as well. So yeah, tag team division is looking fantastic on SmackDown, and adding them to an already stacked division is going to make SmackDown the show to watch on Friday nights. So what's going on, Bakley? Thanks for tuning in, man. So let's move on to our next one, and it's our first PLE of the weekend. I'm not going to cover Under Siege. I didn't watch it. I did keep up with the show, but I figured, you know, if we didn't watch it or nothing like that, it didn't really pay to, you know, get into it too much. But yeah, Saturday night's main event, running down the card real quick. There was a dark match of American Made and LWO. But first match, Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker defeated CM Punk and Sami Zayn with the help of the returning Bronson Reed. Zelina Vega defeated Chelsea Green to retain the Women's United States Championship. John Cena defeated R-Truth. Damian Priest defeated Drew McIntyre in a steel cage match, and Jey Uso defeated Logan Paul in the main event to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. Jordan, I'll let you go first, man. What was your take on the entire show? You can go match by match, something that you just want to talk about. And at the end of a scale from 1 to 5 stars, what would you rate it?
Yeah, the show was pretty good. Some like it was like some flat finishes, like nothing really happened. But like at the end of the show, Cody came back, so that was like a pretty good ending. And yeah, with Bronson Reed, yeah, I think that's they got 2 big guys now, so that's pretty cool for them.
Yeah. So what would you rate it 1 to 5 stars?
I'll give it a 4.
4. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this wasn't one that I was overly excited over. The card was pretty decent. I think the one major thing I think they need to stop doing, and it sucks because he's such a legend, is having Jesse Ventura on commentary. Seems like he's bringing a lot of, I don't know, a lot of negativity, staleness to the commentary. I don't know if that's what he's aiming for or something like that. But you know, Lillian Garcia is explaining the rules of the steel cage. He's talking over her the entire time. He seems to be complaining the entire time about Damian Priest escaping from the cage and whatnot, and he's going on and on and on about it. Seems like whenever they're going to do something next in the steel cage, he's still rambling on about the same topic about Pat McAfee, competing and whatnot, and it was all a big mess with him being on commentary. So I think that's something they may continue because they keep doing it, but I don't think it's something they should continue much more because of the negativity I think he's bringing to that commentary. It's supposed to be something like, so much positivity between McAfee and Cole, and getting along and bringing so much energy. And I think Ventura just kind of brings it down for me. So the rest of the show, I mean, was pretty decent. I mean, Bronson Reed is one that I did not expect to be with Rollins and Breaker. I was expecting maybe Austin Theory. I know he was a big name being thrown out there. I know that A-Town Down Under is on the outs as far as the tag team goes. So I was thinking maybe bringing Theory, who has already worked with Seth Rollins, but I think they're adding another powerhouse to Bronson Reed, and they suddenly want us to forget that Bronson Reed took out Seth Rollins with the tsunami multiple times off the top rope. I think they want us to forget about this, and now he's teaming up with Seth. It was a cool finish. As far as Chelsea Green and Zelina Vega, I mean, it was a 5-minute match. It wasn't my favorite. There was a big botch that a lot of people were talking about, the 619. I think that's maybe what connected with Chelsea's face. And then you were seeing a lot of blood come down the face. I think that botch right there is kind of what did it. John Cena and R-Truth was a really fun match. Like I said, only 4 minutes. I wasn't expecting nothing spectacular out of it. But being that John Cena is R-Truth's quote-unquote childhood hero, even though Truth is older than Cena, but coming out in the gear, the Ron Cena shirt, having the towel, dressing exactly like Cena, even coming out to his theme song was a really cool touch. Doing the moves, the AA, the 5-knuckle shuffle, everything he did to kind of mock Cena was a really cool touch. I just think it wasn't really needed. It wasn't. I don't think it was PLE worthy. I mean, this wasn't a PLE. It was a TV special. So I just, for one thing, it wasn't needed. And I think Cena's heel run has been pretty rough lately. So I think there was a reason why Vince never turned Cena heel after all these years, is because he knows that it wouldn't have been good. But they did it for the money, and something that we have been very vocal on TKO about the money. We'll get to that in our last topic. But yeah, I mean, it was an okay match. I mean, it wasn't the greatest, wasn't the worst either. Priest and Drew kind of gave my take on that already. It was a good match, but I think we're going to see Drew gone for quite some time now. They said that they wrote him off of TV for a while. I think he's battling a few injuries. And then Jey Uso, Logan Paul was also okay. I mean, the entire show, I feel like, was just kind of like a filler show. It wasn't anything that anyone, losing their minds over or anything like that. But that was an all right show. I mean, I'll go like a 3 out of 5 on the show. I mean, like I said, if they didn't do the show, then I wouldn't have lost sleep over it, because we already had 2 more shows to go in the weekend with Double or Nothing and Battleground. So, I mean, wasn't that bad. What's going on, Ivan? Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, Baker said there's too many commercials, but yeah, I 100% agree. So many commercials. Solid show though, he said. And then Justin said, I for one can overlook the Zelina botch simply off the fact that she doesn't wrestle very often, and she doesn't really do the 619. But it's so easy to forget. Yeah, I don't think the botch was on Zelina one bit. The 619 is a move that she doesn't do often. Yeah, I do agree. But like I said, things happen in the ring. And honestly, I don't think it's anything that people should be talking about to this day. I mean, it was just a couple days ago. I don't think it should still be a topic that people are talking about on social media. But overall, it was an okay show. Like I said, it was more of a filler to me than anything. And yes, during the show, before we move on, during the show, they did announce the next Saturday night's main event in Atlanta. And then the next night is the second ever Evolution PLE, which is an all women's PLE. Fans have been asking for it for quite some time now. And I think it's a cool thing that they're doing. I love that they're doing Evolution again. I think some cool things could happen during it. I do have a take when we talk AEW about someone who I think could potentially show up there. If her contract expires by then, I forgot when her contract expires, but that's to say the least. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was an okay show. I mean, like I said, nothing to be going nuts over or anything like that. Jordan, you got anything to add left on Saturday night's main event before we move on?
No, not really. It was okay show.
Yeah. So switching gears to our next WWE show, which was NXT's Battleground that aired at the same time as AEW Double or Nothing. Getting to the card before we give our take, Sol Ruca defeated Connie Jordan to retain the NXT Women's North American Championship. Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs defeated Brooks Jensen, Nico Vance, and Sean Spears. Channing Stacks Lorenzo defeated Tony D'Angelo. Stephanie Valkyrie defeated Jordan Grace to retain the Women's Championship. Oba Femi defeated Miles Bourne to retain the NXT Championship. And the main event, Trick Williams shocked the entire world and defeated Joe Hendry to win the TNA World Championship. I don't have it loaded, but man, the look on the president's face of TNA as Trick Williams was showboating with the title. So I'll actually start this one off. We had two TVs going at one time last night in my living room, and NXT was off to the side. AEW was the main one we were watching because, I mean, for one, we knew that the NXT was going to end far before AEW was over, being that they had Anarchy in the arena, and we knew that was going to take a long time during the show. But this was a solid show. I mean, this was good. Starting off with, Sol Ruca and Connie Jordan, I knew this was going to be a good match. I thought maybe we were going to get some nonsense with Zarya maybe costing Sol Ruca the champion. I know that they're too close of a tag team, but I think that they're both better in their separate ways. And I thought that the Zarya was going to cost her the championship and Kalani was going to win it back. Or maybe once the match was over, she turned on her or something like that. But yeah, it was a great opener. And as Bakley was saying right there, the Soul Snatcher was amazing. It was also awesome to see Mike Santana appear and have a match booked for Tuesday. Trick winning was needed. Yeah, it was awesome. Yes, I do agree. Awesome to see Mike Santana backstage as well. Something that if you told me that a couple of years ago, I would have thought you were nuts if you thought Mike Santana was going to be backstage at a WWE event. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, Sol Ruca and Connie Jordan killed it. That Soul Snatcher from the top rope, something I've watched on replay multiple times. And man, she is becoming a real big fan favorite for me. She is someone who has the potential of being a star. She's already a star for me in NXT. But once they make that call for her to go to the main roster, booked correctly, man, she could be a star easily. As far as the next match with Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs and them, I didn't catch much of it. I think I was doing something during that match, but I don't think I really missed much as far as that goes. I think Hank and Tank are a really fun tag team to watch. They kind of remind me of Public Enemy in ECW. That's something that kind of remind me of just the way they dress. Stacks and Tony D was a fun match as well, but it kind of makes me wonder, where do you go with this after? Because Stacks has that mobster character, kind of like Tony D has, so I feel like they really fit together. So I don't think breaking them up was great unless you have something big planned. As far as Tony D maybe finally going to the main roster, something big with Stacks as well. I really don't know who's going to dethrone Stephanie Valkyrie. if it ain't Jordan Grace. Maybe it is going to be Jordan Grace at some other time. Maybe at Evolution. Maybe when they go at it again. If they go at it again. Miles Bourne showed that he belongs in that main event scene. He took Obafemi to his limit, and Obafemi was lucky, I think, to squeak by him. And then Trick Williams winning the title, I thought. I mean, I picked him on our graphics pick that I put out yesterday. I didn't think I was going to be right at all. I did not think I was going to be right. But it was really good. It was really good to see him win it. I think it adds something different. It's someone from a different promotion winning another promotion's title, something you haven't seen in God knows how long. So Trick winning it, possibly making more appearances on TNA on Thursdays, I think could really, I would say boost ratings. I don't know how the ratings are going over there, but I think it could help out tremendously with him being the champion over there. So yeah, I mean, it was really cool. So let me catch on some of these comments. I feel like I've fallen way behind on some of these comments. Didn't realize how many were coming in. Let's see. Bakley said Stacks and Tony wasn't a fan of Stephanie Jordan match. He says the question Stephanie beating her this early. Yeah, I for one am questioning that as well. He's happily surprised with Oba and Miles. What's going on, Kayla? Hey, thank you for tuning in. Justin says Trick winning was great. Finally, some title swapping. This is definitely setting up getting the world title on Mike Santana. I 100% agree. I think that would be so cool to see Mike Santana as a world champion. He said Hank and Tank is Public Enemy mixed with Heavy Machine. Hey, yeah, I see that. And he can see Joe Hendry beating Oba for the title. But it makes me only wonder is how long is Joe Hendry under TNA contract? Is this his way of finally making that jump from TNA to WWE? I don't know how long left is on his contract, but I think this could definitely play a part in getting him over there. He is super over, and I think he deserves a bigger crowd. And yeah, I do agree with a lot of people that TNA can be looked at as that number 2 brand behind WWE. I know a lot of people are making the argument for AEW after this weekend, but they always do that after a pay-per-view, and then it goes back to being the same conversation until the next pay-per-view happens and whatnot. But I'll let you go next, Jordan. I mean, what was your take? And also, I will give this show. I go one step higher. I go a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a solid show to compete with AEW. I thought it was a great show. It ended, like I said, it was far shorter than AEW, a lot less matches than AEW, and there wasn't a match where they were kicking each other's asses all over the arena to bodies by Drowning Pool. But it was a solid show. 4 out of 5. I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it yet. It was a solid show.
All right. So yeah, Sol Ruka and Jordan, that was a great opener, and they both gonna become a star soon.
All right.
Like if they get called up, or when they get called up.
When, yeah.
Yeah, when. So yeah, Hank and Tank, yeah, they a great tag team.
And also, we're all comparing them to Public Enemy. I need you soon enough after the show, maybe go Google Public Enemy from ECW. That is a good resemblance of how they dress, and even he said it as as Public Enemy mixed with Heavy Machinery. That's a really good comparison. But yeah, I'll definitely go check that out after this show.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, Stacks and Tony D'Angelo. Yeah, I don't know where they're gonna, like you said, I don't know what's gonna happen with this if they're gonna have a rematch or whatever they're gonna do. Stephanie, back here. Yeah, unless Jordan Grace, they have another match and she takes it off, because I don't know who else can take the title off of her.
Yeah, it seems like it's only Jordan that is like the best possibility right now. I mean, unless they go like Sol Ruka loses the North American, she goes for the women's title or something like that, or something. But no, I feel like Jordan Grace is like the top name right now that can take it off of her.
And Oba Finney and Miles Bourne. Yeah, that
Mm,
was yeah. Oba Finney's like a beast, but Miles
yeah.
Bourne, like he put it. They went like
Hmm.
and Trick Williams and Joe Hendrick. Man, that shocked me, him losing it. But it was it was awesome to see Trick Williams win though.
Yeah. So 1 to 5, what would you give it out of star rating?
I'll give it a 4.
Yeah. Basically saying that the contract expires in December, but he can see him winning the NXT champion as a TNA talent. I think that would be cool also to know if Trick remains the champion. I'm not sure if they keep Trick as the champion for TNA all the way to December, like doing like cross promotion, winning as a champion. But yeah, I mean, someone's to take it off of Oba or anyone that's the champion. If it's Joe Hendry as a TNA talent, that would be cool, for sure. But yeah, so yeah, it was a good show. Like I said, wasn't even close to being as long as AEW. And while we're on the topic of AEW, why not? Let's get into it, Jordan. And I went into the show with an open mind, and I have said multiple times on multiple occasions that I am not a viewer of AEW by any means. I don't watch Dynamite. I don't watch Collision. Um, and it's not the product that bothers me by any means. It's the booking's not fantastic. I'm not crazy about the stories that they do over there, and a lot of fans are critical of the stories over there, how slow building they are, or how much they don't make sense, or something like that. And I don't know. I thought it was a decent show, and I'm being very generous when I say decent because a lot of stuff I didn't feel like made too much sense on the show as well. Uh, Kind of backtracking to NXT, Baker says he sees Trick either dropping the title at Slammiversary or at Bound for Glory. Yeah, I can see it as well. But yeah, so running down the mile long list of this card, starting off, we had Mercedes Hogan. Oh, I'm sorry, Monet defeating Jamie Hayter to win the Women's Owen Hart Foundation Cup and earning herself, or I should say, booking herself to a AEW Women's World Championship match at All In versus Tony Storm. FTR defeated Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. Ricochet defeated Mark Briscoe in a stretcher match. Hurt Syndicate defeated the Sons of Texas of Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara to retain the AEW World Tag Team Champions. Then Kazuchika Okada defeated Speedball Mike Bailey to retain the AEW Continental Champion. Timeless Tony Storm defeated Mina Shirakawa to retain the AEW Women's World Champion. All right, here we go for this one. The team of Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Shibata defeated the team of John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Marina Shafir, Willer Yuta, and the Young Bucks in a 35-minute Anarchy in the Arena match. The Don Callis family of Kenoshi Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Josh Alexander defeated Paragon of Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. And Hangman Adam Page defeated Will Ospreay in the finals of the Men's Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament to earn himself a match at All In against John Moxley for the AEW World Champion. I am long-winded, so Jordan, you're on this one on your own. So give me your take on whatever you want to give your take on while I catch my breath from reading that entire card. And obviously, at the end of it, give me a 1 to 5 star rating.
All right, so with Mercedes Monet, yeah, we already knew that she was gonna win till she books her show. So yeah, she's gonna win every time.
Yeah, all the time. It's fucking annoying.
FTR and them, that was a good match with
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Garcia and them.
Mm-hmm.
Ricochet and Mark Briscoe, man. That Mark Briscoe was busted open.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Hurt with Bobby Lashley and them. Maybe I don't know when, but I think they done a turn on MJF.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't fit that whatsoever. They're gonna turn
Yeah.
on him soon, and very soon, I think.
Yeah, like last night, he was trying to help, and Bobby Lashley was like, "Get down." So yeah, they done a Okada and Speedball. Man, that was a good match. Speedball Mike Bailey, man, he can roll.
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
Tony Storm and them, man, that was a hell of a match. That was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh boy, here we go to the
Oh yeah,
now. Okay,
yeah. If I to catch your breath for this one.
you're playing the same song over and over the whole match.
Oh my god, that was a lot to take in.
Like I don't. That's why it ended so late because of this match.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and
It
John
was good.
Moxley's in every one.
It seems like it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if he was in the first one they did during the pandemic
Yeah,
era, but I know he's been in most of them.
yeah. And then, oh, the Don Callis family. Yeah, it was an okay match.
Mm.
And then the Heyman. I first I thought Will Ospreay was gonna win.
I mean, we all did.
Yeah, and then Heyman won. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's. But I'll give it. Well, hell, I'll give it a 3.
Oh, okay. Shocker. That's shocking rating right there. I thought they'd go a little higher. Yeah, I mean, for someone like I said, there's not a casual like myself. I thought the show was pretty decent, and I mean, we all knew Mercedes was winning. I mean, even a blind person saw this coming. I mean, we all knew she was winning, and you already know she's beating Tony at All In. I mean, unless something wild happens to where Tony wins, I think Mercedes wins by a mile, and she's gonna hold pretty much every women's title that she can in AEW. She's already holding a bunch. She dropped one of the New Japan ones, I know, but aside from that, she's holding a bunch, and I think she's gonna hold another one come All In. FTR and them, I thought was pretty good as well. I know there's a spot that a lot of people are talking about in a match due to poor camera angles where Dax ran in to Cash Wheeler, but it's only because he pushed like Nigel out of the way or something. But it was poor, camera angle as far as that goes. But I thought it was pretty good. Ricochet, Mark Briscoe also was pretty good. Mark Briscoe was leaking blood in that match, and yeah, it went on for it was like 16 minutes. So yeah, I mean, he was busted open the entire match. Yeah, Hurt Syndicate and Sons of Texas wasn't a big fan of that match, and I don't think adding MJF to that group is the right move. But obviously, they'll turn on him at some point. It's not a long term thing. Okada, and Speedball was really good. I think Speedball has a really, really good future in that company, and I think he made the right decision going to AEW. Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. I think Mina's gonna be a champion at some point in that company. She just became all elite there like a week or two ago, so she is gonna be champion there at some point. Anarchy in the Arena. I know a lot of people love what's being done in Anarchy in the Arena, but I thought it was, a little goofy. I thought some of the spots were a little dumb and whatnot, playing that same song over and over. I think it was just maybe Tony Khan kind of flaunting that he got the rights to that song or something, that he's able to play it over and over and over and over again. And I mean, I thought some of the spots were silly. I mean, for when you can't watch that match and think every spot in there was fantastic because it wasn't. I mean, the staple gun from Marina Shafir to Swerve Strickland on the tongue. It's almost like she was trying to figure out how to use a staple gun, and Swerve Strickland is just sitting there waiting for it to happen. I mean, for one, you got to be a little bit better than that. I mean, overall, the match was good. I mean, some spots in there, like I said, were a little silly. I mean, but the name goes into the match, Anarchy in the Arena. People are not watching this match for the wrestling. They're watching it for the spots in this match. And there were a lot of wild spots in this match. I mean, they were all over the place. They were outside. They were back. They were in the main lobby with the fans by the concession area with the merchandise stand. They were in the crowd. They even locked up Moxley's team in the ambulance that Mark Briscoe was originally in. And then Mark Briscoe made a cameo during the match, still bloody as hell and whatnot. But I actually had that when we made our picks on the Game Breaker website. I actually picked Kenny Omega's team to win, and I picked one of the Young Bucks to get pinned. I forgot which one I picked. But last minute, I said, you know what? I think they might go Moxley's team to win. So I picked John Moxley's team to win, the Death Riders and the Bucks. And I said Samoa Joe was going to be the one to get pinned. I am an idiot. I last minute changed my decision, and it cost me. So I don't know how the results went for our picks on the site and whatnot. But, yeah, I think that one kind of hurt me right there. So, yeah. But overall, it was good. I mean, like I said, people don't watch that type of match to get to see what spots, to see wrestling in there. They want to see what crazy spots are going to happen, and there was a lot of crazy spots in that match. But overall, it was good, and it was really fun to watch. So if you haven't watched that match, I highly suggest you go and watch it. It was good. The Don Callis family and the Paragon, I thought was an okay match as well. I think there's way too many people in Don Callis family. I think they started this off as a small faction. Now it's becoming almost like the NWO. Like everybody has to join this faction. The NWO had so many people in there in WCW, and now I feel like everyone who doesn't have much TV time on the AEW roster is now in the Don Callis family. And Will Ospreay and Hangman and Page was possibly one of the best matches I've watched this year. It was really fun. Ospreay always puts on banger after banger, and I agree with Justin right there in the comments. He said Hangman was the right winner. Him and Ospreay have similar motives, but Hangman has one more with his redemption, and he's on to clear himself of his past sins. Yeah, I think he was the right winner. And as much as I would like Ospreay and Moxley to go at it, and for Ospreay to eventually win the world champion, I think Hangman has so much more to accomplish right now as far as like storyline goes. So for one, I do think Hangman was the right choice. For one, I think Ospreay is going to have his time sooner or later. There's so much more of the wrestling year to go. So Hangman was the right choice, and maybe we could possibly see Hangman and Ospreay go at it again somewhere down the line, and that's where Ospreay becomes world champion. So there's a lot of possibilities to go with this. But overall, as someone who kind of talks a little down on AEW, I know AEW fans, I know I don't talk well sometimes about your promotion and whatnot, but I will say that this was an okay show. This was a solid show. Am I going to go back and watch it? Probably not. But I thought overall it was a good show. I'm going to go with the same rating as NXT. I'm going to go 4 out of 5. I thought it was a good show. Now, I did say that I was going to talk about a certain person on this show that did not show up, that a lot of people say if she didn't show up here, that she's 100% going to WWE. And that's Mariah May. I thought if Mariah May does not show up during the Toni Storm match with Mina Shirakawa, who she has a pass with both of them, she's going to WWE. She already said in the past that WWE was her dream. I think her contract expires sometime in August, I think I read. I could be wrong, but Evolution's in July, so she wouldn't show up there anyways. But I don't know. Like, I feel like there's a little more time in August. So maybe she does show up. Maybe she works a deal out, out of the blue with AEW to come back, or maybe she wants to get a little bit bigger and go with WWE. I mean, she did say it was her dream, so why not have that chance to live your dream out, But overall, it was a good show. I'm not going to sit here shit talk AEW and be blind to the fact that AEW put on a good show last night. Getting some more comments. What's going on, Tim? Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, he is also happy that Hangman won. And shout out to the guys at Sports for You Wrestling. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So, Jordan, before we move on to a topic that's going to make my blood boil, do you have anything left to offer on AEW? Why are you muting yourself during the show, Jordan?
No, I don't. Let's just get to the sad moment.
Yes, very, very sad moment for us. And unfortunately, the announcement came out this past week that WrestleMania is no longer going to be in New Orleans for WrestleMania 42. They made the announcement at the SmackDown that my brother and Jordan went to, and we were sitting there front and center, but the one higher level, we had a direct look at the ring. The Rock came out. He came out to The Block Is Hot by Lil Wayne and had the New Orleans themed everything, and he announced that WrestleMania is coming to New Orleans, gets a big pop out of everybody. And I think it was a SmackDown before the Chamber, before Cena turned, and that's whenever he transitioned to bringing Cody out and asking for his soul and whatnot and all that. But I mean, WrestleMania got a huge pop out of everybody. WrestleMania hasn't been in New Orleans since 2018 for 34, and man, we were looking forward to this. I mean, we were really looking forward to this. And being that, we didn't book anything yet. We didn't book a hotel or, I mean, we're in the States, so we don't have to fly or nothing like that. So it just would have been a far, car trip for us. But I'm very disappointed. And as much as I love the WWE is the company I grew up on, I'm very disappointed because all it is now for WWE is they're becoming more of a corporate company, and all they care about is the money. The thing is with WWE is that Vince McMahon, you can say what you want about Vince, the allegations, the lawsuits and whatnot. If Vince was around the moment they announced a location for WrestleMania, he wouldn't have switched it. It wouldn't have been about the money with him. Yes, I understand Vince was around when they started first going to Saudi Arabia for the amounts of money they give them. But I think as far as a WrestleMania location goes, I think it's a different situation. And the sad part about it is that for one, you need, because they went to Saudi, got the money and whatnot, but it's not about the money when it comes to WrestleMania for Vince. It was about, picking a location and sticking with that location, because they announced this in February. So when they announced this in February, the people from out of state, out of country start booking flights. They start booking hotels, and a lot of it's just not refundable. And you can say, oh, well, they can still come to New Orleans if they can. No, they want to go to WrestleMania, and WrestleMania is the same exact date that they're booking to come in. So it's so disappointing to see a company that you love so much, that you grew up watching, they have turned into this. They have turned into a company that only cares about the money now. That's all it is. It's all money now, because the rumor of them now going back to Vegas for a second straight year. I mean, I'm not only saying this because I want them to be in New Orleans, but Vegas did not put on a great Mania. I mean, as far as crowd noise, as far as this or that, it was not that entertaining of a Mania. I mean, we came on here and we gave our takes on that WrestleMania. It was not fantastic, but I don't think they care about if it was good. I don't think they care about what we think. I think they care about I mean, what kind of money was brought in from this? And that's it. So, like I said, it's extremely disappointing. They're giving us some money to bank next year as a consolation prize, basically. And they've said for WrestleMania coming to New Orleans for a date to be determined in the coming years. I mean, should it have been next year when they actually maybe, I don't know, fucking announced it? If you know damn well you're not for sure coming to New Orleans, then don't announce it. If you're that crazy about going back to Vegas next year, just say we're doubling down and going to Vegas again next year instead of getting our hopes up. Because I mean, this is something that yes, it would have cost us a ton of money. Because TKO has raised those ticket prices to make it very unaffordable. I mean, unless you I don't know if you like fucking max a credit card out or something like that to go to WrestleMania, like I know a lot of people maybe do. But for us, I mean, we were looking forward to this. I mean, we were saving for when they announced it, we were already saving. I mean, we were saving a little bit here and there. If when the tickets do go on sale, I don't know, maybe November or something like that. But in just a matter of a day, it got ripped away from us. So it's sad to see what the company has become. A bunch of corporate stuff who only care about money. And putting Triple H in front of camera like that on Friday to announce that we're getting Money in the Bank next year in August, which is a weird month for Money in the Bank. They always do it like June, July, but now they're doing it all the way in August, which is insane, I think. But the sad part is they never gave us a reason why that they're not coming to New Orleans. So now they're trying to basically sway the fact that, oh, we announced already that we're coming to New Orleans. We had the logo made. We already booked it at the Superdome. And now they put a video out on Friday saying we're getting Money in the Bank, but never once said, oh, it's because we're not coming to New Orleans next year for Mania. Come on, man. If you're gonna do this to us, then at least give us a reason. Someone like Triple H, who has been in this business forever, should give us a reason. But it's all about the money. And I agree with Bakley. He said they are turning it into a cash grab with sponsorships and deals. That's all it is. When Vince was around, like I said, I have said my words about Vince McMahon. But he wouldn't have the ring mat looking like the fucking UFC. And having sponsorships on every corner, one plastered right in the middle of the ring, stuff like that, one on every turnbuckle, the Prime thing, nothing like that. He wouldn't have that. And that's the WWE that I miss. I miss whenever they cared about what we thought. And they cared about entertaining us versus just a company being a big money grab for sponsors and deals like Bakley said. So before my head explodes in frustration with this company, I'm going to let Jordan go.
Yeah, when we went to SmackDown that night and they announced that WrestleMania was coming, like, we was all excited. But then a few days ago, we just saw on the internet that they wasn't coming. I was like, what the hell's going on? But it's all part. It's for the money and all that, and then they want to go back to Vegas. So it's just all messed up for us. I was so excited for. I know it was gonna be expensive for us to go, but it was.
I don't give a fuck, honestly, if it's gonna be expensive. That's one big thing out of the year that we look forward to. And like I said, it hasn't been in New Orleans since 2018. So fans that are saying, oh, well, it goes to New Orleans all the time, bitch, we had it twice. It's not that big a deal. I mean, Vegas is more than likely getting it for a second straight year. Where's the complaining right there? Shit,
and I've just been the one. I've been the one Mania when there was the one so it's just so messed up to us, to everybody that was excited about going.
Yeah, and I've seen comments from people actually live in New Orleans. I know there's a guy that who covers the Saints, but he's a big wrestling fan as well. I know he has voiced his opinion big time on social media, and I mean he has every reason to do that, and
Mm-hmm.
it's very frustrating. I mean, like I said, a company I grew up loving so much, and to this day, I still love them because they are the ones that gave me my love for professional wrestling. I do think overall is very frustrating and is very upsetting to see a company that you do love go down like that, turn into this corporate company, only caring about the money, only caring about, oh, let me see if I can get Travis Scott here. Oh, let me go through everything to get Cardi B to host SummerSlam. It's all about the celebrities. It's all about the money. That's all it's about, and it's so frustrating, man. It is, and you could say, oh, we all are getting a Mania in a couple of years. It should have been next year. If you're going to book an arena, if you're going to announce it to the audience, and that's the thing, they even announced it to a New Orleans audience. They weren't in, I don't know, fucking Minnesota and say, oh, WrestleMania is coming to New Orleans. They were in New Orleans. They were in the city. They were in the Smoothie King Center, which is right next door to the Superdome. And they said, oh, next year, April, for 2 nights, we're coming for WrestleMania 42. But yet they turn their backs to us, and to this day still haven't given us a reason. And that's the crazy part. They still haven't said that, oh, we're giving y'all money to bank because we're turning our back and we're not coming for WrestleMania next year already, as we said we were. They already announced. It's not like the dirt sheets came out and said WrestleMania is coming, but WWE never confirmed it. No, The Rock, who was on the head of the board with TKO, came out and announced it to everybody in the crowd. So it's not not WWE deflecting rumors. It's WWE turning their back after confirming something right in front of us, and never once said now, and to this day still have not said, oh, it's because we're not coming next year. So I would like a good explanation. I mean, I don't give a shit who gives the explanation. I don't care if it's Triple H. I don't care if it's Stephanie. I don't care if it's Nick Khan, someone from TKO, The Rock. I would like an explanation as to why they're not coming. If it's about the money, say it. For one, New Orleans did very well for the Super Bowl, and they got a very good response from the Super Bowl. So what's the reasoning? I mean, there has to be some sort of reason. If it's the money, say it. I mean, you're more than open to telling us. I mean, if you can be transparent with us, go ahead and do it. I would like to hear it. But like I said, my head's about to explode. I feel like I've said enough as far as this goes, and I think that's the perfect way to end this show. Unless, Jordan, you have anything else you'd like to add to my rant, but it's probably not a good idea to add anything on because I may start talking again.
Yeah, no, it's just so messed up. It's just for the money, sponsors, and the celebrities.
Yeah, I agree. And
yeah,
I mean, maybe we'll get some sort of explanation somewhere down the road, unless they take too long and decide to do it. I don't know, whenever, if they do it at all. But on that note, this will do it for this live stream edition of the World Elite Podcast. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, everyone who's tuned in and commented on the show, showed your supports and whatnot. We do have a video that we dropped last Wednesday on who we think is going to be every major AEW and WWE champion by the end of the year. If you haven't checked it out, I highly suggest you go check it out. It's one of my most edited videos ever. Put in a shit ton of work into that one, so I just appreciate it. Go check it out if you haven't done so already. We do plan on being back next Monday with brand new topics and whatnot. So Same time, same place next Monday, 5 o'clock Central, Facebook and YouTube. Social media first, you can find me at Dylan Aber _. Jordan, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Twitter on Jordan_J2000.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Justin, man. Appreciate you for being here the whole show and showing your support as well. We'll be there at 7 for Monday Night Raw to come support you, Dom, and if y'all have more on. The podcast, you can find us at World Elite Pod. We're on Facebook and Instagram as well. Instagram at World Elite Pod as well. Facebook, World Elite Podcast. Go follow the show. Same thing, Instagram and Twitter. The audio versions, much like the one that you can be listening to whenever this one does drop, if it's later on or sometime tomorrow or something like that, is when I'll drop it. It can be found on all major audio platforms, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you can listen to a podcast is where you can find the show. The sponsorships and affiliates for this show can be found in the description of this video, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. They're both there. So go show your support to all of our sponsorships and affiliates and whatnot. Too many to name. Not going to try to embarrass myself and read them all. I'll probably get something wrong. But that will do it. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. We will be back, like I said, same time, same place next week, next Monday at 5 o'clock Central for a brand new topic episode of the World Elite Podcast. Hope everyone enjoys Monday Night Raw, NXT on tomorrow, AEW Dynamite, TNA, SmackDown, and Collision, and we'll be back to talk more next Monday. So y'all have a good one.